Welcome in. What's Right with Nick Wright? Episode 379. This episode, as always, in fact, let me just make it so you guys can see it, is brought to you by our friends at Boost Mobile. If you're watching on YouTube, when I do other people's podcasts, I turn the little mic flag like this to promote my own podcast, so it's in the screen. But when you guys are watching this podcast, you know what podcast you're watching, so my friends at Boost Mobile get the added visibility. A big day. We're going to be doing our gambling show later today that you guys will hear tomorrow. We have a ton to do today. It is also my wife and Damonza's mother's birthday. So we are going to try to be as efficient with our time as possible because, pal, I'm a little behind on some of the birthday stuff. And the birthday is today. So there might be some wrapping that needs to be done. There might be some purchasing that needs to be done. Did I just moments ago secure the cake? It's possible. Did you hear me on the phone to make sure they had the pic?
Yeah, I thought it was a social media post or something. That was a cake.
No, it wasn't a social media post. It was a cake for your mother's birthday. And you know, how old is your mother today? There's no way to tell. And so no, there's no way to tell. You don't know. Believe it or not, Damonza, you don't know. And so there is just a lot we need to do, which is why I expected today to be a very efficient bang, 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 bang. And then the producers just chummed the waters, reminding me about some of my pal Bill Simmons and the Ringer's latest rankings. And I cannot stay away. So before we even get to Straight to Voicemail brought to you by Boost Mobile, let me just address two things as quickly as I am able to. So the latest Ringer Top 100 came out, and Braun is outside the top 10. And he's 11. And on its face, I don't actually, that is within the range of what is, in my opinion, an acceptable ranking. But what kills me is who is number 10. So let me make sure I have this right. And this is a little frustrating to me, and I think it's fair. So 11 is Braun. Number 10 is Durant.
I knew it. I didn't even see the list. I swear I didn't even see the list. That's crazy.
There's just no argument that he's better. And there's no argument that he's more available. There's no argument that he's more durable or reliable. So, and by the way, Steph was 7. I don't think, I think Braun is still better than Steph. That at least, though, intelligent people can disagree. Like that is a debatable point. I don't get why, like, people are like, well, LeBron's 40. Durant's old too, and Durant misses way more time. And so I just, that just on its, and this is not a shot at Kevin Durant. He is, if he, Steph, and Bron are all rewriting what is realistic for old guys in this league to do. But it is, I don't get why Durant, and I think this is a good, because you can do, and this is a great interactive, they do a really good job with the visual pieces of these articles. But Durant ended last season 14th. I don't know why he jumped to what happened where he jumps to 10. I just don't get it. And again, I think Durant is unbelievable. The Rockets might be my pick to win the championship this year. I am not trying to beef with Durant. We're yet to have the moment, certainly, yet to have the moment post-Golden State where there is a credible evidence or even eye test-based argument that Durant's better. So that's a little frustrating. The other thing they put in there was a quote from Bill where he said, if the Nuggets win the title and he wins MVP again, I assume, again, I haven't listened to this. I've been so in football mode. I don't think he means finals MVP. He means regular season MVP. He's indisputably one of the 10 best players ever. And so I don't think that he being Jokic is what, I don't know if I said that on the front end. I don't think that is necessarily even an incorrect take. It just, though, does bear mentioning. Because as you guys know, I am the self-appointed czar of top 10s having to have 10 people in them. If you are arguing that if they win this title, they being Denver, Joker is top 10, then you are arguing 3 of the following people are not. Okay? Bron, Kareem, Michael, Magic, Russell, Wilt, Duncan, Kobe, Bird, Dream, Shaq, Steph. That is, I think, a pretty universally agreed upon top 12 with respect to Jerry and Oscar. And hell, if we want to go super old school, Mike in, and with respect to Dr. J and Moses and whomever, that's the top 12. So if Joker wins, I think most people are going to say Dream is out if he's in or not. So that's the easiest one to take out. I think Bill might say Wilt is out. I wouldn't, but I think Bill maybe would. And then it gets a little tricky, which is if we're just saying Dream and Wilt are the easy outs, and again, I think Wilt's the 6th greatest player ever, but you taking out Kobe, Bird, Shaq, Steph, I don't know. So 4 MVPs, which is what it would be for Joker, and 2 rings would, and by the way, I didn't, excuse me. When I said it's not including Durant. I didn't even think about that. But Durant's not in the top 10. It is, top 10s are going to get really prickly for people if, let's say, this hypothetical happens and Joker all of a sudden has multiple rings and 4 MVPs and has kind of elbowed his way in there. Because it's not going to be as simple as, oh, okay, we're just dropping Dream, who, by the way, I don't have as 12th. I have as 10th. The list I gave you guys was the order of my 1 through 12. But is Joker better than Shaq? That's a tough sell, maybe. Like, it is, do we think he's already better than Steph? I don't. With 1 more ring, maybe. It's what's going to become popular, Damonza, in 10 years are all-time top 10s that do not include Kobe or Bird. Yeah. And that is hard for me to wrap my mind around, but I've got Kobe 8, Bird 9, and that's with them ahead of Steph, Shaq, Joker. I know some people disagree with it, so it's just
Jokic is one of the most complete NBA players I've ever seen. Like I think he has everything. I do think he's probably gonna sneak in that top 10 by the end of everything.
Well, he is unequivocally,
I don't know if I should say
one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest, probably 5 or 6 offensive players ever. I struggle a bit with
the defensive side.
Yeah, well, because again, and I don't think he's like some massive liability defensively. It's not the point, but
there's some holes on that side. 100%.
Now, so Duncan might be the greatest defensive player. Well, dream. Post Russell. Duncan's one of the 2 greatest defensive players post Russell. And to me, Duncan's offense is better than Joker's defense, obviously. But offense is worth more than defense. It's tricky. It's tricky. Yeah. I'm not here to say that's an outrageous take. Like, Joker has earned it. It is also the other thing, just real quick, that Bill, when he was talking about Giannis, mentioned the fact that Giannis has only won 8 playoff series, which was crazy. Like, to think about like that. Bill did a really good thing where he's talking about the, all-time playoff series won, and Bron has 41. Duncan has like 35. Kobe, I think 32. Again, this is Bill's thing, not mine, but just from listening to it. Jordan had, I think, like 31. And he mentioned how Giannis has 8. And I was like, wow. Like, he won 4 the year they won the title.
Right, exactly.
Joker has 10. So when we are, again, this assumes he actually gets to 14 because he wins 4 more. I have a little allergy to saying a guy who's been past round 2 twice ever, and now it would be 3 times if they win the title, is, we're going to bump him ahead of Kobe Bryant, who went to 7 NBA finals. Like, so that part of it just is, just reflexively, it feels, Duncan went to 6 finals. I don't even know the conference finals off the top of my head. That part feels,
a little
I don't want to say
premature.
Wrong. Yeah, but maybe it's not. And so I do think, though, for Joker, he has reached the ceiling he can get to as far as where he's ranked, absent another title.
Right.
Like, wherever he is right now, he has maxed out how high you can climb based on individual accolades. Like, he is as high as a 1-ring player can be. And people can say that's reductive or that's silly. That it's not. It's totally fair. It's just totally fair. And the guys are telling me Bill said he'd be there with Bird and Magic. I think Bill has Magic rated lower than I do. I think Bill has, to me, Magic is in a slight tier above Bird. And I think that Bill has Bird and Magic in the same tier. But okay. For a show that I said was going to go really fast, we just spent 15 minutes on something that wasn't even in the rundown. So that's great. We haven't even gotten to
Straight to
voicemail, brought to you by Boost Mobile. So let's get right to it. Go ahead, pal. Or no, not go ahead. I do that part.
Brian Branch.
Brian Branch's 1-game suspension's been upheld. Lucas scored 25 in his preseason debut, and the Boston coaches beat the Boston media 57-4. They said, do you think the What's Right crew could score more than 4?
Yeah.
I think Damonza could hold his own. I feel like go ahead.
I'd have 15 alone. I don't know what quarters they were.
But
they were doing halves.
Here's the problem.
Because it's the staff.
Here's the problem.
Ex-guys, ex-dogs.
Well, yeah, there's some former pros on the staff.
Yeah.
Some former. And Missoula was a 5-year D1 player. The problem would be this. What's that look?
I don't know. Joe Missoula, yeah, 100%.
No, Joe Missoula played 130 games at West Virginia.
And he was gritty. Awesome. 100%. He looked like a gritty guy, but yeah. These days he's probably got the check engine light on.
here would be the problem for us. I honestly think we maybe would need you like to come off the bench. If we wanted to like, if the whole goal was let's get to double digits and funnel it through Damonza, I think if we just started the game like that, they would just correctly be like, okay, he's doubled at all times. The other 4 idiots got to go 4 on 3, and we might just be cooked. I feel like, I can't prove it, but I feel like Vic is probably a good athlete. I don't know that. I can prove it. Me, Dan, and Matt are just drawn dead. These are the things I know. And so we would really need the Damonza Vic 2-man game to be crushing. I don't know.
What about Gabe?
I would imagine. I think Paul's probably fine. But Matt, now that he's a big bougie executive, is enjoying the spoils of success.
We got to throw.
And
Gabe
I've seen that. I've seen
roster.
Daniel's. I've seen Daniel's Twitter avatar picture. I just don't think he's instilling a lot of fear in the opposition. Sorry, Daniel. I mean, I'm not either, for the record. Who just said we've met? Oh, yeah, I know. I know that, Daniel. But I'm trying to be relatable for the audience as well. No, Daniel, he was at the Trintage years ago. Okay, we now still haven't even started the show. This is a disaster. Like, rate, subscribe, review. Please. Hopefully everyone's enjoying today's programming. Let's get to the actual topics at hand.
So your Chiefs are looking normal again. The offense is humming. Yeah. Rashee Rice is off of that 6-game suspension. Mahomes is saying it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. Andy Reid's saying that he looks good and he's in shape. Are you expecting the Chiefs to kick it into a new year with Rashee Rice back? I'm expecting 260, 270 from Mahomes in this game.
Is this you got a little I
don't have a little taste on
4.5 or something. I mean that's what that sounded like to me. So here's what I think. I think the offense is going to look excellent. I do want to say I don't know what's going on with Josh Simmons. It seems to be a serious personal family issue. The fact that he left the team abruptly, Andy won't talk about it. He referred it to Brett Veach. I have no insight on this, but I would not expect him to play this week. Luckily, Jalen more than acquitted himself well last week, and I think he's fine in the short term. I actually think veteran Jalen Moore is probably about as good, maybe I'm wrong, as good as rookie Josh Simmons. Josh Simmons is so exciting because as a rookie, he's been good, and so it's about what he's going to be. What I do think is the Chiefs are now going to be able to hit every quadrant of the field, and Rashee Rice, I think people had forgotten what Rashee Rice was doing before he got hurt. From the playoffs through the regular season, once he got a hang of it, and I said this on the show, I'll say it again, and then I want to actually talk about the Lions. Rashee Rice is not a conquering hero returning, okay? Rashee, if it was just he blew out his knee and he's been out a year, that would feel one way. Instead, listen, he is incredibly lucky he didn't end his career that day on the Texas highway, okay? And he's even luckier he didn't end somebody's life. I am not going to hold that against him forever moving forward, but I also am not going to act like, this is
like he's coming
a
off
super feel-good story. You know what I like? So he was very, very fortunate that didn't end worse than it did. And he now has to kind of earn back everyone's trust. Now that has been said on TV and on the pod repeatedly, I now feel comfortable talking about him just the player. And from Thanksgiving of his rookie year through when he got hurt, he played 9 games, not including the playoffs. In those 9 games was 7 catches for 90 yards a game. And in the playoffs, he had another 260 yards. He's excellent. And he's going to play the Juju intermediate role. So Travis will have more open spaces. Rashee will have more open spaces. Thornton and Xavier taking the tops off the defense. And I think the Chiefs' offense is going to look fantastic. I also, however, want to talk about the other side of last week's game for a moment, which is the Lions, their media, their fans, and most notably their coach and quarterback, still as of yesterday, whining about a correct call. I've never seen anything like it. That Dan Campbell was still, and I like Dan Campbell a lot, he was still yesterday complaining that they took the Jared Goff touchdown off the board. There seems to be some it's in dispute whether or not the refs on the field got help from New York or not on it. What there is not a dispute on is that was a penalty. The Lions' stance seems to be, yes, it was against the rules, but the refs didn't instantly call it. Therefore, it being called is unfair. And to the point to where now I wish they had just gotten it, because the Chiefs controlled that game regardless. Like, it is a level of whining that for something that was definitively against the rules, that is odd to me. And it's not it's no one's fault but your own that you didn't know that if Goff is under center and goes out for motion, he has to pause for a beat. And if he's in shotgun, he doesn't. That's not being as buttoned up as you should have been. So it's weird to me with a game, Damonza, Monday night against Tampa, that if they win it, they are effectively back in first place in the conference. And if they lose it, they're 4-3, having lost a head-to-head tiebreaker to Tampa and already being a game down in the head-to-head with Green Bay. It's just weird. All right, I want to go back to the Chiefs just for a moment to talk league MVP. This segment is presented by our great friends at Hard Rock Bet. All right, go ahead, pal.
So Baker has climbed to number 2 in MVP odds. Ahead of him is Mahomes. Those are both of your guys that are in the MVP race. We're sponsored by Hard Rock. So they've created this market for you. They've got Mahomes or Baker to win MVP at -150, or you could bet the field at +105.
So shout out to Hard Rock on this. Not just making this. And this market is currently available in Florida, by the way. For making this an either or side. Yeah. Meaning, I don't love when it's one-way markets, because then you can't tell what the fair price is. Does that make, like, if it's just a yes bet or just a no bet, you can't get a feel for what the fair price is. When it's a two-way market, -150 and +105, there's obviously some juice in there because they're not the same number, but it's not -150 and for either or, and then -150 for no. And I've got to tell you, I think Baker or Patrick, to be able to get either one of them to win MVP at only -150 is a pretty solid bet. Now, full disclosure, I won't be making it because I already have this bet covered. I have Baker in the preseason at 35-1 on Hard Rock, and I have every year, it's like an annuity. Every year I bet Patrick to win MVP, and then every 3 years or so it pays. So I already have them. I have these bets covered. But if you guys remember our preseason gambling show, I said I thought Tampa was going to be the 1 seed, and if Tampa's the 1 seed, Baker's got a real shot at MVP. I didn't expect it to be this type of, insanely hot start. The reason I like the Baker or Patrick piece of it, Damonza, is so many of the preseason favorites are just out. So, obviously, Joe Burrow is out, literally.
Yep.
I think Lamar's out. Like,
I think he's definitely
You
out
agree?
with this. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think for missing 2 games doesn't knock you out, but I just think being 1-5, like
cooked.
they would have to go. They would have to go 10-1 the rest of the way for Lamar to have a real shot.
Have a case,
right? Okay. So then you look at the other teams that could have great records, right? Daniel Jones is not going to win league MVP, especially because a lot of people think Jonathan Taylor's been the best player on that team. Daniel Jones has been excellent, but it's just, to me, Daniel Jones is not going to be league MVP. But they right now are the 1 seed, right?
Yep.
Rodgers, team only has 1 loss. He doesn't have the numbers, and I don't think is going to. So he's not going to win league MVP. You go to, Herbert was a trendy pick. They fell off some. Josh Allen is still obviously a viable candidate, but he's had some hiccups the last few weeks, right? You go to the NFC. Jaden's team isn't that good, record-wise. So he is, and his numbers have been fine, but he's also missed time. He's got an uphill battle. Goff, I don't see it. Maybe I'm like, and also the team's record's fine, and you might be like, Nick, the Chiefs are 3-3. No, I understand that, but I also feel like Patrick somehow has a narrative momentum going for him with getting Rashee back. So right now, to me, Patrick and Baker, their real competition and I don't think Jordan Love's had some crazy year. The real competition, Damonza, is Josh and Stafford. And
not Dak if they start winning games?
No chance.
No chance.
No. I mean, Dak's not going to have a better year than Burrow did last year. And the Cowboys aren't going to do better than 9 wins like Burrow did, and Burrow didn't have a real shot at it. Stafford is viable, right? But Puka being banged up hurts his chances.
Yeah.
So I do think you get Baker or Patrick at -150. I think that's legit. And if you think Baker's going to fall off and the Chiefs aren't going to have a good enough record, you can just take the other side of it at plus money. So I think that's a sick bet by our friends at Hard Rock. And this show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. If you love betting on sports or you just love sports and want to try betting, the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app makes it simple. Plus, packed with great insights, nonstop promos every day of the week. Week 7 kicks off with Steelers-Bengals. I'm looking ahead already to Sunday in Kansas City. Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub right here in the app. Here's what the app is showing me. Arrowhead. You guys, they've won 13 in a row at home as a favorite. They're massive favorites over the Raiders and are on a 6-game streak, though, of failing to cover against divisional teams. That's interesting. Maybe they snap it Sunday? If so, probably need a little help from Kareem Hunt, who's scored a touchdown in 5 straight. This is a weird one. Kareem Hunt has scored a touchdown in 5 straight Week 7 games. How about that? Also need Xavier Worthy. He's on a 4-game touchdown streak on Sunday games when the Chiefs are favorites. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but also an extra $150, in bonus bets. And tonight on Hard Rock Bet, you can get a Thursday night profit boost for the game. Boost your same game parlay or SGP max so your bet pays extra winnings. New promos every day, so if you're listening to this later, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today. Take a look around and make your first deposit. All right, Damonza, let's get to some of these other games quickly, please.
So the Eagles are coming off that 2-game losing streak, the last one being the Giants, and they're headed to Minnesota. And you went from wanting to see the passing game to then them just playing a normal game. They failed at both those tasks. What do you expect to see out of them in this game?
Did this line surprise you?
It's a little weird.
Eagles only being 1.5 favorites against a Vikings team that's going to be starting a backup quarterback. A Vikings team that's been fine, but, I don't think has wowed people. To me, that's real evidence. Vegas is cooling on the Eagles a bit.
Yeah.
See
what's happening with them. They're just weird.
Yeah. They are weird. And I don't think Saquon's going to be able to save them. I think the 480 touches from last year is just, he doesn't seem to me to have the exact same burst, and the offensive line isn't quite as good. And the defense is just mediocre. This is, Damonza, an opportunity for Jalen Hurts to show the world who he is. And that's don't clip that. That's because listen, the guy's he's literally the reigning Super Bowl MVP. But so let me rephrase it. For the Eagles to pull themselves out of this mini spiral, Jalen's going to have to be excellent. That's what I think. I don't think they have a great defense right now, and right now they don't have a great running game. What they do have is a good to very good offensive line and star receivers. And so then it falls on Jalen to make the offense work that way. And I'm very interested to see how it goes. Go ahead. Do you think that's an unfair?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it just seems like none of them are on the same page. But
no.
But yeah, I mean, obviously you do have the infrastructure.
Go ahead,
so to speak. You have the tools.
Here's the other thing. I also think if they lose, it can really, really get away from them.
Yeah.
I don't think they have. Despite being defending champs, that
fear factor with other teams?
I was going to say like the institutional maturity to not let this get out of hand.
Okay.
And because we saw them when they were the defending NFC champs in 10-1 a couple years ago, it spiraled on them. And so
it's the weird thing. They seem so they seem like a disciplined bunch, but I don't know.
It's just an emotional
just bump
team.
heads a lot.
Yeah, it's really odd. It's really odd. We'll get to more on this in tomorrow's gambling show. All right, let's get to the old quarterbacks.
Bengals and Steelers are facing off on Thursday Night Football tonight. Cameron Hayward is calling this the Icy Hot Bowl. For only the second time in NFL history, 2 quarterbacks over 40, Rodgers and Flacco, will be facing off. What are you expecting from this game? Oh, Rodgers also called it a great thing for the old guys out there.
Yeah, listen, I think Pittsburgh will win. I think that if Pittsburgh doesn't win, Cincy's going to feel like we're alive. If Cincy wins this game, Cincy is sitting at 3 wins, having beaten Pittsburgh head-to-head, and Pittsburgh's sitting at 4 wins. Now, Cincy has been just the worst team in the league since Burrow went out. That's a little disrespectful to the Titans and the Jets.
The Ravens are pretty bad.
Yeah, the Ravens been pretty bad too. That is true. But I expect Pittsburgh to win this game. The producers had a follow-up question in here that I'm going to try to do quickly that I think would be fun.
How would you break down the quarterback eras of this century? Could you rank them?
So, I don't know that. I think what they want me to do is rank the quarterbacks of this century. I don't know about eras. So this is a cursory ranking of how I would have it. And basically, Brett Favre and older are not eligible. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the 1, 2, 3 for this century to me is very simple. Tom Brady is 1, Patrick is 2, Peyton Manning is 3. That to me is pretty undeniable for of the last quarter century. I also think number 4 is pretty undeniable, and that's Aaron. I think of the 2000s to now, your quarterbacking Mount Rushmore is Tom, Patrick, Peyton, Aaron. 5 gets tricky because eligible for that 5th spot, and tell me in the doc, because I am doing this off the top of my head, if you guys think I'm leaving anybody out, but just eligible for that 5th spot is Breeze, Big Ben, Lamar, and Josh. To me, is there anyone that I am going to be like, oh my God, Nick, what a terrible job, that I forgot? I don't think so. I would have 5th on that list be Breeze. I would have 6th on that list be Big Ben. Oh, there is one guy that is... Well, hold on. I think, is Kurt Warner older than Brett Favre? Kurt Warner is born in 71. Brett Favre was born in 69. So that makes it, okay. Tom, Patrick, Peyton, Aaron, Breeze, Ben, Kurt Warner, Josh Allen, Lamar, and then number 10, I'm going to put Stafford. And so that would mean just missing the cut would be Phillip Rivers, Cam, Russ, Matt Ryan, Eli. Those are the guys. So that's how, but I think, listen, Aaron had an opportunity to be at least to pass Peyton and to be the guy that Patrick was chasing before he got to Tom, or before he gets to Tom, but Aaron didn't have the postseason moments for it.
What if Rodgers got a Super Bowl this year?
Like Peyton's final one in Denver?
Yeah.
I actually don't think that moves him. Okay. I'm not going to put him... That, to me, he wouldn't jump him above Peyton. And, I think there is a gap between Peyton and Aaron. It would make it closer. He certainly wouldn't be ahead of Patrick. And Tom's Tom. But I also think everybody has Aaron ahead of Breeze and Big Ben. I just think he's firmly 4th of the 2000s. I think it's very difficult to have him ranked anywhere else. Fair. Hey guys, you ever notice how everything keeps going up? Rent's going up, streaming services going up. Your favorite burrito spot suddenly thinks should charge a little extra for salsa, but with Boost Mobile, you and your phone bill don't have to play the will this go up soon game. Why? because Boost Mobile is an unlimited talk, text, and data plan at a price that'll never go up. In fact, same price you'll pay for life. So switch now for unlimited wireless at a price that'll never go up, only at Boost Mobile. After 30 gigs, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan. All right, Damonza, let's quickly get to 3 other games here before we do our gambling show for tomorrow. Go ahead.
So your Jags are headed back to London where they always win to face the Rams. You put Jacksonville in the probably not good enough tier to win a Super Bowl. So is your love fading for them? What's going on there?
No, I just think that they haven't been good enough. And it's disappointing because a lot of it has to do with the fact that Trevor and Travis haven't been as good as they need to be. I know they have a good record, and Trevor had the great moments against Kansas City and then actually had a good stat line last week, but they scored 12 points against Seattle. And Travis, instead of being, 1.5 players, they're getting the production of like 3/4 of a player. So that to me concerns me for the Jags. I'm also the Rams offense only scoring 17 against Baltimore, flagged to me. Now, part of me feels like the Rams went into that game with the stance of, if we don't turn the ball over, we cannot lose. So we're going to be very conservative, very cautious, because Cooper Rush is not moving the ball in this defense. And that was correct. So if that's the reason that they were the first team not to just move the ball at will against Baltimore other than the Browns, then that's fine. But Puka might miss this game, and he's wildly important. So to me, this is a nice litmus test for both of these teams. Both of whom sit there at 4-2, feeling fine about their record, but also probably feeling we can play a little better. And my lean in this game would be that the Rams can get it done. With that said, the Jags are way more used to this trip, and it's a much shorter trip for them. So that concerns me a bit. Next.
So the Cowboys season has gotten off to a rough start. Jerry Jones is still hopeful, though. That offense is humming, and they play the Commanders this week, who are coming off that brutal loss to the Bears. Is it crazy to say the 13 seed Cowboys are still a feisty team? This might be a pretty good game.
Yeah, listen, no, I don't think it's crazy at all. I do think the Cowboys are dead to make the playoffs. But I also think because the offense has been so good, they can beat anybody. And George Pickens playing the best ball of his life. They might get CD back this week. They will get him back, if not this week, the next week. And that Dak is playing great, and the passing offense has been elite. The defense is just so bad that they have to score 35 points. Washington, on the other hand, Damonza, if they lose this game, it might be good night. And I know that sounds premature, but they're right now 12th. They're 3-4. I'm sorry, they're 3-3. With a loss, they'd be 3-4. And their next 3 games might be the toughest 3-game stretch anyone has in the NFL all year. At the Chiefs, home for the Seahawks, home for the Lions. So this is a literal must-win for the Commanders. All right, last one.
So you called the Colts a legit good team. They haven't really faced any great teams. They got the Chargers coming up, who are also riddled with injuries. Is there a chance that the Colts are still closer to the 24 Saints than the 24 Vikings?
No.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to just absolutely get slaughtered on my Colts preseason bets. And no, I mean, they have a legit offense. The defense isn't as good as the numbers suggest. The offense is excellent. And I think they will likely go to Los Angeles and beat the Chargers. And I did not see this season coming for the Colts, but I have to give them credit. All right, let's get some listener questions, pal.
Brett asked, Nick, is it really true that you've never seen that you've never seen rounders, that'd be like a pro-am golfer having not seen Happy Gilmore. And also, hey, what's going on?
No, it's not true that I haven't seen Rounders. Wilds just says that for some reason because he thinks it's funny. Not only have I seen Rounders, I'm good friends and play cards with the guy who wrote it and created it, Brian Koppelman. So, like, Wilds just says it because he's an idiot. All right, next.
Noah asked, do you think Brady Peyton era was more fun to watch, or Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar?
Here's the thing about Brady Peyton. It felt like a fair fight, and they split games. Like, Peyton was 3-2 in the playoffs against Tom. Tom won the first 2, Peyton won the last 3. Patrick being 6-1 against those 3 guys combined, and having won 4 straight against them makes it's fun for me, but it's not as compelling. Why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's like hard not to shake my head at that. Yeah, it's fun for you. They're good matchups.
They're good matchups like that. But my point is, Brady, Peyton, Big Ben, they all beat each other.
Right.
Like that. And that's just not what we've gotten so far. Next.
Danny asked, should the Raiders try to reunite Russ and Carroll at the trade deadline?
That's the rudest thing anyone said about Geno in 10 years. No, they should not. Next.
Scott asked, do you agree that because they don't play in preseason games that the first 4 through 6 games are not near as good as they are before when they played in preseason games? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also why it didn't happen this year, but typically teams like the Chiefs that have really tough training camps are usually better than the rest of the league in September because they're actually ready to play football. All right, reminder, everybody, like, rate, subscribe, review. We're going to Damonza and I are going to stick around and do our Week 7 gambling show. You guys will get that in your feeds tomorrow morning as long as you are subscribed to the pod. Thank you to all of our great sponsors, Hard Rock Bet, Boost, and of course Zen. Thank you to the Volume and to Blue Duck. Talk to you guys soon. What's right?